We are into chapter 5, DHTML and CSS of ICT class 10. So we'll try to differentiate between HTML and DHTML, and we'll state the purpose of why we use this CSS, cascading style sheet, the advantages and disadvantages of CSS, and also various properties of CSS, and we'll create an interactive web page using CSS. So most of the time we will be talking about the properties of CSS, as you will see later in this chapter. So what exactly this DHTML means? See, HTML is hypertext markup language. As of now, while I am speaking, HTML is HTML5 and CSS is CSS3. This is the version which is right now we are working on. So whenever a page is sending or requesting certain data, the data, if this is a web page, you have a static content. Now this static content will never change. If you want to change it, if you want to make more interaction, if you want something to be taken from, or say not really from the server, but unless and until you have some interactivity going on here, this will only be a page which has a static content, means those things which are seen and which will never change. If a user even clicks, he will not get any response like this. So to overcome this kind of problems or drawback, you can say, DHTML was introduced. This is dynamic HTML, and it is no different from the HTML. It is just the addition of the scripting language with the HTML. So it is not that HTML has that scripting language. Now HTML has the possibility of embedding the scripting language. We'll see what is this scripting language. So actually DHTML is the combination of HTML plus JavaScript. JavaScript, it has nothing to do with Java. It has the name Java, but it has nothing to do with Java. So it is actually the client-side scripting language to make HTML more interactive, making HTML more dynamic, right? So DHTML is actually a combination of technologies. It is not just one technology. It is actually a combination of technology which makes HTML as dynamic. You will see HTML. This is HTML will always give you a static page. You want to make it not more traditional, but more realistic, more interactive, and more of this age. For that, you have to add this CSS, a JavaScript code, or link this code to your HTML. So HTML is for creating text, image, links, and other pages elements. CSS is basically for makeup of HTML. So if you consider HTML as a woman and she is going to a party, then you have to apply CSS to her so that she become more beautiful. She was already beautiful. Then just making it more friendly to the party environment. For that, you have to add this makeup to the HTML. So this is a makeup. In simpler language, I am trying to make you understand. And how about JavaScript? JavaScript is about the accessibility, the dynamicity, and making more interactive. If a user is there, you want to create your web page more interactive. If he presses some button, something should come, something should pop up on certain events. Some aspect has to be given. So kind of programming has to be involved. That is the JavaScript. Now this DHTML is not a scripting language, because JavaScript is a scripting language. When you add HTML with the CSS and the JavaScript, then it becomes a DHTML. Okay, the basic thing, the basic idea behind is the dynamicity. Everywhere you will see dynamic only. So you are making your web page more interactive, you are making it more beautiful, you are making it more interactive and beautiful. So DHTML, with using DHTML, you can have animations, you can have pop-up menus, you can add data from the external data source. Also, you can perform drag and drop that you do in your operating systems. So the DHTML makes your documents dynamic. Again, the dynamic. So you'll see all dynamicity here. And it will allow you or the designer to control how the web pages content should look like and how it should change. So whenever a visitor is visiting, it should react. The web page should react in a special way to cater her needs or his needs. So DHTML is like changing the position. It will be able, you will be able to hide and show the content, will be able to change the things, control the things. And it is mostly the most important line which I am going to speak right now. The DHTML, everything occurs on the client side, because this is client side technology. If you ever want to ask for the server side, then you have to talk about PHP, you have to talk about ASP, etc. So the components of DHTML, it has conventional HTML, all scripts as you have just seen, the JavaScript, small programs to manipulate web pages. You have DOM, that is the document object model. So this gives you a roadmap actually, from which point to go, which point. These are all the related to the change in the element properties. Then the positioning, where exactly relative or absolute positioning of the elements will be there in the web page. Web page is nothing but a, you open Microsoft Word, the page you see. You open Notepad, you see a page, you write something. So web page is nothing but this Notepad or Word page only. It is nothing more than that. So this static page has to be given some sort of interactivity, because the user is interacting with it. Also the multimedia objects, effects, text, images, all these are, and also the downloading part, because when you go to internet you ought to download many things. All these you'll find in DHTML. Now, as I said, the makeup, you want to make your web page more beautiful. Though it is beautiful, though I am trusting that you'll be making a very good web page, but making it better than other. If you are wearing a very good shoe, or you say a polished shoe, and the other person is not wearing a polished shoe, you'll look better, you'll be appreciated better. So this is CSS. Cascading style sheet is to describe, it is actually I should not say it's a language, it is a language, but it is actually a supporting cast for your web page. So it gives you a look and feel and formatting and all those things that we'll be learning in the later discussion of this chapter. So it is basically the presentation, how the content is going to look like on a page. So CSS is all about adding style, font, color, spacing, etc. And what are the advantages? The advantage of CSS is, you may have say 100 pages in your web server directory where you have put in your website or a web application. Okay, now this 100 pages, you have say 100 heading H1. You want to change this H1 in 100 pages. That is one criteria. But with single CSS, just changing one line can affect these 100 pages. So the controlling of layout from a single style sheet is possible with CSS. And the precision of the layout, different media types you can apply, and also the advanced and sophisticated techniques which are available, as you will see, can be applied to the web page. But there are certain limitations of CSS. The main limitation is the browser compatibility. You have Mozilla, you have Internet Explorer, you have Safari, you have Chrome, you have Selenium. I can go on and on with the browsers which are available. So it is not possible, or it is not being so compatible issue, because one thing which works on Internet Explorer may not work in Chrome. I assume that 90%, 95% things work, but sometimes it may not work, because the browsers are from different proprietors. They are different vendors. For other members, means if a Chrome is from Google, so Google is the authority. So they may have certain different aspect or certain different overview or perception. For that, the limitation is only this. Otherwise, everything is good. So how to apply this CSS to HTML document? See, this is your HTML document. This is .html. Now, you can have a separate CSS file. This will be .html, this will be .css. So you can have a HTML file and a CSS file, you can link them. Or you can write the CSS content inside it. Or you can write the CSS content inside your tag also. So there are three methods. First is inline, second is internal, and third is which is the external, which I started, which I explained you initially. So let us discuss them one by one. How to apply CSS to HTML? The basic idea, if you want to make the background red of a web page, see, what you have to do is, or what you can do, if you want to make this attribute style or apply the cascading style sheet or CSS inline. For that, if you want to make the body, so you have to go to the body tag. Inside this, you have to write this style, make is equal to, and then you write background color inside the double quote with this number. This is an hexadecimal number. FF means this will be R. This G will be 0 and B will be 0. RGB. And if you are not used to these hexadecimal number, just scrap it. You can write red. This will also work. Okay. Now this is a good idea to write this hexadecimal number, but still, if you don't want, you can write just red. So what we are doing is that we are giving the style inside this body. You are putting inside the tag. See, the style is given inside your body tag. This is called inline. This is called inline. We'll see the result just now when we'll do the practical example. And then the internal. Now you don't want this to be embedded inside your body, this particular style. So what you can do is, you can go to the head. You can write here like this style tag. You can end the style tag. You can say that style type is text CSS. And now you say that whenever body comes, my background color should be this. Now this is RGB, so this will be blue. And this has to end with a semicolon, and this will reside inside your this braces. So this is how you write body, braces, background color, column, this column, then whatever color you want to do. See the difference. Previously, in the inline we gave the content style here inside, but now we are taking it outside the body or inside the head tag, and now we are embedding or encompassing it inside a style tag and giving it like this. This is the second method. This is the internal method. So this is how you will see. The third is that you can link to a style sheet. You can link to a style sheet. So if say you have this default.html, this is the file you want to style, or if you want to give makeup to this file, you can make a style.css. You can make a file style.css, keep it here or keep it inside some folder which is called a style. And now in this default.html, you can just give a link. The link should be like this, and it has to be given in the head tag. Inside head tag, what you can give is link, rel is equal to style sheet, type is equal to text, because it is not binary, it is text, and you have to give that this text is actually a CSS, and you have to give a reference. Reference is what? The path of the style.css where it is going to reside. So how you are going to give this? You just have to write this line inside your, say, any HTML file, that is default.html in this case. You have to give this style.css. Now you have to make this style.css as a separate file. So you are actually referring in this default.html this particular file which you have made outside, which you have created outside, which is kept outside. So this style.css you have to make separately, and inside this you give this body background color is equal to this. I hope you understand. This is the third way. This is the third method. Now before I can show you the example right now, let us take one property so that we can go ahead with the other properties. First we'll cover the font. So font is what? Font is this. Now it can have a different style. Every font can have a different style. So you can give a font family. Font family is what? You prioritize things. First you give Arial. If your system does not have Arial, web server does not have Arial, or your system where this web browser is running is not having Arial, it will go to Times Roman. You can give some other thing. So this is the font family. Font family, let me tell you what exactly this is. Font family is divided into basically two categories. First is your family name, which can be Arial, Times New Roman, and Tahoma, like this. Or you can have the second category is the generic family. So generic family now can be described as a group of family names, this name, with uniform appearances. How? These are all serif. So this comes with the genetic family called as serif. They all have feet. And also the second is, for example, these three, they all come from the sans serif family. They also are characterized by having feet. But the third one, if you say, this one is monospace. These three all belong to the family, genetic family, which is called as the monospace. And they are characterized that each of the character will have an equal spacing or a fixed width. This is the monospace. So how to insert the list of font, because you have to prioritize it. You cannot just give one font, because if it is not available in your system, how your web page is going to look like? So you have to give certain priority. For example, font family, all the headings which are going to come here in this font.html, we have to make a font.html file. Inside this, all the heading 1, h1, will have a font family in priority. Means first this, if it is not available this, it is not available this. And how about h2? All the h2 heading 2 will have Times New Roman look, otherwise Vardhana, otherwise self. So this is the code which we are going to run just now. Just see the result. Then the font style. Font style is what? If you want to make a font normal, you can make it normal, you can make it italic, or you can make it oblique. So for that, what you have to do, font family will go exactly like this. You just add this font style. Now you want this heading 1, wherever this heading 1 tags come, the font inside this heading 1 tag should be oblique, and all the content inside h2 should look italic. So this is the link to the external CSS file which we are going to make. We will call it as ex1.css. So we'll make a separate file. We'll call it ex1.css. And then what h1 has is oblique look. Of course, the font will be like this, which we just explained. And then h2 will have an italic look. So you see, this is the oblique look, this is the italic look, because of these two inside your ex1.css. Then the font variant. Font variant is what? If you want to select normal or small caps variant of a font. See, small caps font is going to display the capital letters in small. Means smaller size capitalized, means it will be in uppercase, but they will be seen shorter instead of the lowercase. This is the font variant. For example, font variant is small caps for h1, for variable is normal for h2. So how it is going to look like? We want h1 and h2. This should look like something different, means this should look like small caps, and this will look exactly like this because this is normal. So this will be h is capital, others are capital also, but they are small. So they are small caps. There will be capital, but there will be small capital. How about this? This is font style, which is, of course, if it is italic, it should be seen italic, and it should be seen normal. Then the font weight. Every font can be normal, it can be bold. So most of the browsers, they support a number between 100 and 900. So we'll describe the weight. Font weight, you have to write font weight is equal to the colon normal semicolon, or you can give font weight is equal to bold, this colon bold. So all the P or a TD is going to be seen, P will be seen normal with font weight, or the data, table data will be seen as bold. Let us take an example. This ex1.css will contain the cascading style sheet content. This h1 and h2, let us see what has been done. The ex1.css will have, the first one is normal, so this is normal, and the other will be bold. So as we'll do the example, you will see this line as bold. Then the font size. Font size property, you have a font, you want to make it bigger, you will want to make it small. So the different units that can be given in the pixel, that can be given in the percentages. So what you have to do is, see, this h1 will come in 30 pixel size, this will be 12 point, this is 120%, and this will be 1 EM is also there. So this 30 pixel, 12 point, 120%, and 1 EM. These two are because we want those having somewhat moderate vision, and maybe the monitor quality is not good. This is actually absolute. Absolute means if you give pixel as 140 pixel, if the screen is 640, this will take 140, and other content will be left. So if this is 140, and just assume, I'm just taking a hypothetical case that your screen size is only say 100. So 140 it has to take, so it will take 100, and other content will not be seen. For that, for making it readable for everybody, we use this percentage and EM. When we combine the all style, we have seen that the font style is italic. We have seen the weight can be given maybe as bold. The size can be 30px. The font family can be Arial or sans serif. So all these can be combined. As we have this ex1.css, we will change this file, and we will add these combined activity, and we will see that this is the flow. Means you have to give first font style, then weight, then size, then family, like this. So all will be applied here. So this is the first part of the discussion, and now we will turn our attention toward the actual example. So let us go to the Notepad++. We already have the content taken from the book. This is the content, and now we will, as the book has said, we will take each and every example and now try to present it in front of you. So for that we can make a file. First of all, we have to make a file .html. So as we see that the name which the book has suggested is default.html. So let us make a default.html file. For that you have to go to, I'm using Notepad++, file new, just save it as default.html, say default.html. HTML you can take from here and save it. So this is default.html. Let us take the first content. You are trying to make the background. Let me copy it and then I'll tell you. We are trying to make the background as this color, right? So what we are doing is we are trying to make it inline. This is the inline. So style is given inline this body tag. So let me save it and run it for you. This is how it is seen. So background will be red. Background will be red. This is the red color. If you want some other color, you can just give it the name, or you can change the hexadecimal value. So style will be background color. This is inline. The second thing which we can do is not inline but internal. So we are not giving it inline right now. We are putting it inside the head and making a style tag, and now making it the type text /CSS, and then making it background color equal to this with a semicolon inside a braces, and we are saying that wherever this body is going to come, the background color should become this. So this is RGB, so you will see a blue color. Let me save it and run it. You see this has been changed to blue color. So this is the second way how you can embed the CSS. The first was the inline, second is the internal. This is the internal. The third is to make it outside, to make a to link it. For that we'll take this HTML. Okay, now what you have done is you have linked a style sheet which is of type text CSS, and you have given a reference, you have given a link as style.css. So we have to make a style.css file. So let us make a style.css file. Make file new and save this as style.css. Style, we already have it, so let us name it as style.css. You have to make a new file. I already had it, so I just made it as new. This is style.css. Now what you have to do is you have to take this style.css content and you just have to paste this. Similar thing will happen. Wherever body is going to come, background color will be, say this time we want it green. I'm making it green now. Now this will be green. You have to save this and you have to save default.html. One more thing importantly is this style.css is in the similar directory as this default.html. If you see, this default.html and this style.css are in the same folder, which is this folder. If you don't have this folder, means if you are keeping it somewhere else, you have to give the whole path here. Otherwise this is not going, this style will not be applied to default.html. So let me save these two, this also, and now let me run. You will be able to see, because there is no styling thing here. The style is given outside. So I want to just highlight this. Let me run it. See, this is the green color. Okay, this is done. Now let us come to the font.html. So what you can do is you can just make a new file which is font.html, or you can save it as, say, or let me make a new file, because let us go by what the book has said. So let us make a new file which is called as font.html. Let us see. This, according to your book, it should be font.html. So I'll save it as font.html, right? Save. So this is now my HTML file, and we'll take the first one. That is, we are just, and the style.css is also not there. They are asking us to make a new file which is called as a ex1.css. So let us make this also. Let us save it as ex1.css. So now this is ex1.css. This is font.html. ex1.css, let us remove this. Now all these are fresh for us. There is, you would have carried out with the default.html and style.css. Just because of the book I am changing. Otherwise there is no change. So let us take the first one. What we are trying to do here is, this is our CSS file. Now this CSS file is telling us that this not be praised here. Sorry, font.html. Let me make it here. Okay, this is our font.html. So we are including a file or referencing a file ex1.css, which we are going to shortly make. And now the h1 and h2 are to be changed. How? Like this. We'll copy this text from a book and place it inside your ex1.css. So the h1 is going to give us the font family Arial. Because I have Arial, it will be Arial. Because my system has Times New Roman, h2 will be Times New Roman. So you'll see the font. Let me save it and now run it. I am running font.html. See, these are two different font, as you can see. The next one is, again we'll try and copy a code, and then we'll see the font styling. So I'll just copy this code in the font.html as per your book, and then I'll take this content also as per your book and place it inside ex1.css. Nothing has happened, nothing extra has happened, just this one is the added one. Font style is, first one is oblique, second one is italic. Let me save it. So the h1 here will be oblique and this h2 will be your italic. Let me run this again and you will see the changes. So this is oblique, this is your italic. This has also been done. Now let us go to the font variant. We'll give the font variant. So we'll copy this code. I'm copying this code which I have taken from your book. In font.html, let me copy it, and then I will take this code, and this code is exactly similar to previous one apart from adding font variant. So font variant is given here. Let me add it. So sorry, let me copy it first and give it to ex1.css. So now we have this font variant. So first will be small caps, second will be as normal as the previous one. Let me save it. Now run it. We have to run the font.html. Okay, font.html. So this is, first one is, let me save it. Heading 1, heading 2, and this will be, heading 1 will be small caps and this will be, font variant will be normal. Let me run it again. Let us see what happens. Okay. So see, capital H, and these are the smaller ones. This is the italic one. So similar as the previous one, just with the added font variant. So font variant also we have seen. Now let us come to the next part, which is the font weight. So font weight, let us take this code for making it normal and bold. I am copying it in the font.html, and now I am taking this code, which is the CSS EXN, just adding up the font weight. So I am adding the font weight here. Control S and Control S. So let us run this. You will see this one as the first one as normal. The second one will go bold. H2 will go bold. Let me run it for you. See, this is normal, this is bold, but basically this has gone normal and this has gone bold. You have to see that what exactly you are given. So this will be normal, this is bold. Now the next is the font size. So we'll take this code, and as you see, this code already had written in it that heading 1 will be 30px, this will be 12p point, this will be 120%, and this will be as a paragraph heading. And the ex1.css will have the content this one. So all these h1, h2, h3p will have some different variety. So let me run this. I have to save it. If you don't save it, the result will not come, so you have to save it. See, this is 30 pixel, this is 12 point, this is 120%, this is normal paragraph. Now the next one is just combining what we have learned till now, or you can say this is the combination of all these. So let us take this HTML as per your book, and I copy it, Control S. Now the next one is the combination of all these. So first, and this should be in the priority, means you cannot just say that font weight should come first, font style has to come first, then font weight, then font size, then font family, like this. Okay, this is the flow you have to follow. Now you will see italic, bold, 30 pixel and Arial. Let me run. So this one line has taken all the properties which is provided in this ex1.css. So far we have discussed about what is DHTML and what is CSS. Now we are viewing the properties. We have already seen the font. Now we are on to color properties. So the text indent, text align, text decoration, text spacing, and text transform. We will see about this. What is indentation? Indentation means you want the paragraph, say a paragraph, or you want to set the start of any line to with certain pixel, or that is called text indentation. So what we are going to use here is, we'll have an href which is ex1.css. We have been using it, and this text indentation is that whichever paragraph is there, the text indent will start at, with there will be 60 px or 60 pixel of space, then the text indent will start. Then the text alignment. See, the text can be aligned centrally, leftwise or rightwise. You can also justify them. Justify means from left margin to right margin, all the text will stretch, or it will find its place. We'll have an example where this table heading we have, table data we have, and the paragraph. So how this heading and table data and table row finds its place, we'll see. The paragraph is also there. So we are not worried about what exactly this content is. We are worried about the ex1.css. So wherever we have this table head, it will come rightwise. You'll see on the right of the box. Then the table data on the center, and the paragraph line. This will all be justified like this. This will be center. This will be left, or whichever way you give. You can take right. You can give right or the place you want. And this is the justification of the paragraph. So the text decoration, what text decoration does, this text decoration property will make it possible to add different decorations or effects to the text. How? When we have this, say example, this h1, you want to do underline. You want to underline some content. You want to make some line over some text, like the overline. And you want to say strike through certain text like this. So these are the three options, or various options are there. Three we will be trying. So the text decoration here, h1, all h1 heading will be underlined. All h2 content will have an overline, and h3 will have a line through. Then we have a letter spacing. These are the letters. Say this is the word. So these are the letter WIDTH. So you can also give the space between this letter. For that, what you have to give, you can give like in a paragraph, you can give 3 pixel. In h1 heading, you can give 6 pixel like this. So you have this CSS which is linked, and now this is the code of the CSS h1. And don't worry about this because we are going to see the practical just now. So H1 will have 6 pixel spacing between the characters, and P will have 3 pixel spacing between the characters, and this is how it is seen. See this spacing, see this spacing. Now the text transformation, you can make the text or the content capital, uppercase and lowercase. So how you are going to give this? Say, just assume a word headline. Headline can be written as capital, all capital, or the first letter as capital. So just if you want to use capitalize, you just do it, and this I and T will be capital. Uppercase means all the content will be uppercased, and lowercase will be the uppercase version will become the lowercase. So one more thing is there. No transformation will means the actual text will be displayed. So in this code, what has been done? There is say a body. Inside this you have H1. You have ordered list, all this list. So what is done here in the CSS file? The heading H1 will be capitalized and the list will be uppercase. So this will all be capitalized. This will become capital O, and this all will be capitalized. How about the background properties? The foreground color, background image, background repeat. So for that you use the color property. So if you have a web page, then the background is what you see on the background, and the foreground is what you see, like the text and everything, what color they will possess. This is an example where we are using this ex1.css. Here again we have this H1 and list, ordered list, and here we are trying to give the color as red. So all this H1 will come in red. So this is the foreground color. So if you are not well versed with the hexadecimal number, you can just cancel it out and directly you can give red, or say RGB 2550, 0. This way you can give. The background color property is what you see or what you will find when the browser will run that web page on the background. For that, what we are going to do, everything remains the same, but the body color we have made background color is equal to some color. It can be anything. And the heading one will have this color, means the heading one text will have this color, and the background color will be this color, this background color, right? The background image, now you can also give the background image. How you can give the background image? For that, what you have to do is, first you have to have that image, and then you have to link that image. So this is the body. You want to have a image on the body part, means whole web page. For that, background color is this, and the background image will be something like this. So this is URL, uniform resource locator, earth.gif. Also, the H1 will have the color and the background color. So this is not of much interest. This is of interest of this particular discussion. So this is an image which has been taken, and see this URL is earth.gif. So this is located in the, or it has to be on the same folder as you are talking about. Because if it is in different folders, so you have to do this. Dot means you are going to the root directory. Then inside this images folder, inside this earth.gif has to be there. If you want to get the image through internet, then you can use this link or any link like this. So if you see in this, the images are repeated. So same image is repeated. You don't want this image to be repeated. For that, we have various options. We can repeat them horizontally for repeat X, vertically repeat Y, repeat horizontally or vertically, and no repeat. The image will not be repeated. And you can just give one line or one word if you want to avoid the repetition, and this is very easy. Background image is what you have seen, and this no repeat will not repeat the image. So only one time this image will be seen. So before we go ahead to the summary, let me take the practical example of what we have learned up till now. So let us go to our Notepad++. This is our Notepad++. As I discussed you already, this is the code. So you can take font.html, any file name you can take. So let us go ahead with font.html. So let me, for those who are only viewing this, who have not seen the first part, we have made a file called font.html in Notepad++, and we have also made ex1.css in Notepad++. This is our CSS file, which will be called in this font.html. So and this is the content which we have from the book. The first is we want to do the text indentation. So let us take this code. this code. Control S. Now we are taking text index inside ex1.css. So what it is showing is whenever this content will come, this is an example of text indentation. It will start after 60 pixels. It will start after 60 pixels. So let us see how it works. Let me save these two files and run it. So see, this has come after this 60 pixels has been taken. Let us go to the next example, which is about the, see, this is here, right, center and justification. So let us take this code first. This will put in the CSS file and will have in font.html a table header, a table data and a paragraph. So this is the code. Let us take this code. This is our code. So we have this heading, we have table head, table data and P also. So just see what happens, how they are aligned, right, center and justified, right, center and justified. Let us save. Let us run. Now see, this is right, this is center and these all are justified. So as you can see, you have almost made a website, web page. Now next discussion was, as you may have recalled, the text decoration. So let us take this code. This is the code, and now we have this CSS here. So what we are trying to do is, wherever H1 is there, it will be underlined. Wherever H2 is there, we will have a overline, and wherever we have this H3, it will be line through. Just save it. Just save this one also. And now run. See, this will have underline, overline and text through. Now the next one is again the letter spacing. So wherever H1 will come, it will have a letter spacing of 6 pixels. Wherever we have P, it will have a letter spacing of 3 pixels. Let us save, go back and take this code. This code is pretty simple. You don't have to worry about what is written inside. Just see the result. Let us run. See, there is a spacing between these characters, 3 pixel and 6 pixel. Next is what we have discussed in the discussion is about the text transform. So we'll take this code. Wherever we have H1, we'll place it in the CSS. H1, the text transform will be capitalization and text transform will be uppercase. Wherever we have a li, that is the list. So let us see this code where we have a, let me copy paste and then I'll tell you what is happening. So what is happening here is we have a heading H1 and then we have an ordered list. So these are the list material in the ordered list. So as we have seen, what is going to happen, H1 will be capitalized, means each first letter will be capitalized and this list members will be all uppercased. So let me save and now run. Okay, these are all, P is capitalized, O is capital and C is capital, and these are all capitalized. Next is the color, which is the color which we see here. Let us give the color to it. So wherever we have H1, the color will become this, right? So we will take this code of and place it in the, this all code is taken from your book only, and I think this is the similar one. Okay, so H1. So this will become, which color is this? Red. So let us save it, let's save it and run again. So this has become red now. This is how color works. So working of color also we have seen. Now let us see the background color. So the background of body will become this, and H1 will have background this. So let us take this code, paste it in CSS. Let us change somewhat. Make it say 00, make it say FF. Okay, some changes I have made so that you can appreciate the changes. And this is the code. Let me take this code, place it here, save it. This is also saved. Let us run. Okay, so the background color is this. The background for the text is this one, and the foreground is this. This is how it is done. Now we'll give the background image. For that we have to have a earth.gif. So from where you are going to get this earth.gif? Let me copy the code, then I'll explain. This is the code for the background, and this is the code for the. There is nothing. We have not even uttered a word inside this code. Inside this code there is nothing. Sorry. We are going to copy this and paste it in font.html. Okay, font.html is this. We have not even talked about image, only a text that okay, some image will come. But exactly what is happening here is important. In body we'll have a background image. So this image has to come. Earth.gif. For that what you are going to go? Just copy this. Go to Google. Just Google it. Right? So take this image. Any image. It's up to you which image you are taking. Okay. You can take this also. This is moving. So you can just save as. And actually I have already saved it. So you will see. If I can show you earth.gif already we have. So this image you save in exactly that folder where you are going to use it. So this is how you can get this image. Now I already have this image, this one, and now I have linked this also. Let us see what background image will come. Okay, this is our image. This has come. Now, the second thing is we don't want to repeat it. So we have learned about no repeat. There is just one change you have to do. This background repeat is equal to no repeat. This line you just have to add here in this one. So let us see whether it works or not. See, only one is there. And here all this area you can use as per your interest. So this is how you can make a complete website. So before we go ahead, or we can conclude, let us summarize that DHTML is what? It is the combination of various built-in 4th generation browser properties, or you can say the technologies which will make your website more dynamic. CSS is for formatting of text in HTML, also various other features like positioning and layering content. JavaScript is the object-based programming language that allows you to access dynamically and control individual properties of both HTML and style sheets. And there are 3 ways of embedding, or you can say linking or using CSS in HTML. First is inline, internal, and then external. Then we talked about the font family, font style like this, font variant, font weight, font size. Then text indent we saw, then text align, right, left, center, the text decoration also, then letter spacing, then text transform property we have seen, the color also we have seen just now, the background color, background image we have just showed you with example, background repeat, you don't want to repeat the image. So this is all about the DHTML and CSS. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.